Welcome to the stream. I'm Tandy, and on today's stream, we're going to be playing some Pioneer. We are starting off with Amalia combo. This is a deck centered around the card Amalia Benavides Aguirre. Basically, you get a 2/2 for black and white. As ward, pay 3 life, so if your opponent tries to kill it, they take a little damage. It says whenever you gain life, you explore, and then destroy all other creatures if its power is exactly 20. Now, whenever you gain life, explore is a neat little combo with a card called Wild Growth Walker. This 2 costs 1/3. Says whenever you explore, you get some +1/+1 counter, and you gain 3 life. And that is kind of the combo, right? Like, you just have this 2-card, 2-creature combo that allows you to grow the Amalia to a 20 power creature, gain a bunch of life, and then poof, blow everything up. And when you blow everything up, it allows the 20 power Amalia to chunk on in for lethal. You don't just assemble Amalia and Wild Growth Walker and have it trigger the combo. You must either explore so that Wild Growth Walker gains life to start the combo, or you must gain life so that Amalia explores to start the combo. And so the rest of the deck is full of ways to do that via creatures that enable some of our other payoffs. To start, we have Lunarch Veteran. This is essentially like a Soul Sisters type card where it's a 1/1 for 1 that gains you life whenever a creature enters the battlefield. This actually can gain a lot of life, and it makes Amalia Benavides Aguirre actually pretty solid and really strong on its own without needing the Wild Growth Walkers. And you can actually just grow this Amalia, maybe not up to 20, but you can make it up to like a 8/8 or 10/10 without much trouble thanks to Lunarch Veteran and other ways to gain life. We have 1 copy of Cenote Scout, which we're going to be using to find off of Court of Calling, but also if we draw it naturally, it works well with Court of Calling. When it comes in, it explores, so it can trigger the Wild Growth Walker, which triggers the combo. 1 copy of Gilded Goose. Gilded Goose is a nice mana accelerator in decks that have Court of Calling because you can use it to convoke after it uses its mana on the first time. Gilded Goose works better in this deck than something like Llanowar Elves because you can use it to make food and then gain life, which can start the combo. We're playing 4 copies of Prosperous Innkeeper for 2 costs 1/1, makes a treasure, and then whenever creature comes into play on your side, you gain a life, and that is very similar to Lunarch Veteran for starting the combo. When we have the combo going, sometimes we aren't able to attack with the Amalia, and so we need one other thing to actually physically kill the opponent, and we're playing 1 copy of Dinah Soul Steeper to do that. For 2, you get a 1/3, says whenever you gain life, each opponent loses a life, and then you can sack a creature to give this a buff. You're not going to sack too many creatures with this to do the buff effect. Mostly it's whenever you gain life, each opponent loses 1 life, which means if you're doing the Amalia combo, you're just going to drain your opponent out. We have 2 copies of Skyclave Apparition, a nice interactive piece and good to find off of Court of Calling or Collected Company. 2 copies of Sentinel of the Nameless City, a nice body, a good find off of Collected Company, but the fact that it's a creature that can eventually trigger Explorer from that map token makes it an ideal 3-drop. Our payoff cards for playing all these cheap little creatures, we have 4 copies of Collected Company. This is going to be great for helping find the combo, but in a pinch, we can just find a couple of creatures that just work well together. 4 copies of Court of Calling, which creates maximum redundancy within our combo, but also allows us to play a couple silver bullets like Skyclave Apparition, the Cenote Scout, and some sideboard cards. This is easily the best Court of Calling deck that I've seen in Pioneer, and I think that you're going to see exactly how strong it is when we play the matches. 3 copies of Return to the Ranks. This is a way to essentially recombo once Amalia blows things up, or if your opponent plays a bunch of removal spells and kills all your stuff. With Explore, sometimes you put stuff in the graveyard too, so you can fill your graveyard for Return to the Ranks somewhat easily. And then lastly, 1 copy of Aetherflux Reservoir. This artifact allows us to physically kill our opponent in matchups where they gain a bunch of life, or in spots where we know that the Amalia and everything else is going to die to like a Supreme Verdict or Farewell. And then when we do our Explorer, we can make sure that we leave Aetherflux Reservoir on top as our card when we're doing our combo. And what that ends up doing is we get to untap, play Reservoir, and then we have like 70 life. We minus 50 and deal 50 to our opponent. This is Amalia combo. Let's go and play League. All right, we're for game number 1 of round 1, and our opening hand is, I'll say mid, but we're gonna keep. We're on the play. We got the turn 2 Wild Growth Walker. You don't always get a 1-drop. Let's start with Overgrown Tomb tapped. There's no double white cards that we need to play on turn number 2. Rakdos, here comes a Thoughtseize. Oh, it's a Witch's Oven. Alright, I think this is a decent matchup. He says, I have yet to try this deck, but I heard it's the truth. I played it a little bit when it was first coming out. You know, we were testing out various builds, and it was strong. I think my last time I played it, I went 4-1 in a league, and it felt like the 4-1 was justifiable or whatever. Alright, so now we can court for 1 and go get Cenote Scout, and then we get another cord later. I think that that's fine. We can just play the plane so we don't take any damage. If they go for a way to kill the Wild Growth Walker, doing the Explore in response with Cenote Scout could be quite strong. But instead, we could go get Lunarch Veteran, and then untap and cord and go get Amalia and make a big old thing. Fable, oh, the Mirror Breaker. Alright. I am going to do cheese. I think I just let it happen. So we can block and then cord for 1 and go get Cenote Scout and swallow up the Blood Tithe Harvester. But then we're not threatening combo next turn. I kind of like threatening combo, if I'm being honest. And I don't really care about the 3 damage too much. Alright, we'll go get Lunarch Veteran so we can threaten combo. Alright, Goose is a pretty good draw because it's free with the cord. And then we don't attack for lethal here or anything with the Amalia, so we'll just say go. I guess we'll wait till end of turn, or we'll do it in response to something. Not sure exactly. Oh yeah, it's easily the best cord deck I've ever played, Beast. The Cauldron Familiar actually makes my combo significantly worse. Alright, we'll just block with Wild Growth Walker. And maybe that was a horrible block. I think I'll just let this happen, and then we just cord for Amalia EOT. I don't want to necessarily blow things up here. And we have the Return to the Ranks for later. Maybe making a 20/20 there was better, because we just gain 1,000,000 life. But I can also just kind of wait. Like, we can wait until the Fable pops off. Oh, we're going to get Amalia. I'm sure I'm playing this poorly. Other people, I'm sure, play this a bit better than me, but we're just learning. We're trying to figure things out. Are we getting Explore here? Top Cards Collect Company. We would like to keep it on top of our deck, please. Mostly because our combo doesn't win the game, right? Because of the Cauldron Familiar. Alright, I'm going to attack with the Amalia and see what they do. They might go block sack. I'm thinking about main phasing the Coco, but I don't really want to, because I could obviously maybe kill them, but I could also, I don't know. They could also just have Fatal Push chilling. I really don't want to make a 20/20 that kills me to claim the Firstborn either. I was expecting them to block, if I'm being honest. They know about the Coco. They don't know about the Return to the Ranks necessarily. They discard 2 lands. Or the good sideboard cards versus this deck? Mostly you just want to spot removal everything to make Cord worse. I would say that maybe like Rest in Peace is okay against them because it turns off Return to the Ranks, but it's not even that good. Grafdigger's Cage is probably the best thing. I think I just let them have it. I'll just take it. I really don't want to do anything until their end step. I really don't want to do anything at all. I'm being honest. All right, well, get the Mayhem Devil down now. They're at 12, so they're actually pretty close to dying. I'm going to Coco in response to this because their turn is basically done. And if I hit the combo, I get to blow up the Mayhem Devil before this other Witch's Oven is online. Or at the very least, it makes it very painful for them to go for the Amalia kill with Mayhem Devil. Yes, Rampaging Frost on is good. Things that say can't gain life are good. Alright, so we find another Amalia. We'll just go for some more life gain to grow up the Amalia. And stack our deck as good as we can. Any order on those is fine. Now, if they kill the Amalia, I don't even know, like, what we're... Like, are they gonna start using Mayhem Devil to kill my creatures here? I don't know. They have so many treasure tokens. Like, they could literally kill the Amalia now, but it doesn't really do enough. And every time they ping it, they take 3 damage. Yes, the ward is good against Mayhem Devil. Let's see if they kill the Amalia here. They do. They're gonna take 9 to kill the Amalia. Seems like. So they're gonna go to 3, and then on our turn, we can just Return to the Ranks Wild Growth Amalia to blow up their board. And we'll also gain 1,000,000, and they'll be at 3. And so if they ever target Amalia, they die. And maybe we'll find something cool to do with it. I'm gonna maybe send with everybody on our turn before we return to the ranks. Yeah, I guess they're gonna be higher than 3, but not by a ton. They're gonna kill most of our creatures here, it looks like. Oh yeah, I love me some Sedgemoor Witch too. I wish it was stronger. I never felt like I got Sedgemoor Witch to work. And maybe the tokens just weren't good enough, but I thought the tokens were great. 1/1s that when they died you gain a life. Alright, so they can go sacrifice Goblin, get a food, sack Cauldron, bring it back, shoot down both Lunarch veterans. Oh, that's right. It was vintage because it was any non-creature spell, right? Did it? All right, so let's target 4, 5. So we convoke green. All right, so they deal 1 to either me or the goose. My guess is they'll cook the goose because they can sack a treasure, do some more stuff to kill everything. So they are at 3, so they can kill Wild Growth Walker before the combo goes off, but they can't really kill... Maybe I messed up. Alright, so we're going to gain a lot of life here. I'm going to yield to all the life gain triggers. But this is going to grow my Amalia to a very large size. But this is funny. Like this, I do think the Rakdos Sacrifice is a pretty bad matchup for this deck, and it's funny to me that like you know we're putting so much pressure on them in a couple different ways, but they just can easily machine gun me down with a solo Mayhem Devil. Uh, Wild Growth Walker enters the revealed zone. We'll keep this on top because they'll have to deal 3 damage to it again next turn. All right, we'll keep the Wild Growth Walker on top. Oh my god, Spike! Yo, thank you so much, Spike. Appreciate the huge raid. 945 raiders coming on in. I was watching Spike play earlier. How'd the second league go with the timeless amulets? Timeless amulets always a good time. What up, PT Bench? Thank you so much for the resub. Appreciate you, homie. 11 months. Bike raid. Do we shock so we can... No, let's just play this tap. Alright, here we go. So now, I mean, this is just more F6 time, right? They have Mayhem Devil, ton of stuff to do. They can probably steal the Amalia, would be my guess. Claim the Firstborn, steal it, sack. And no matter what we do, I don't think we're going to be able to assemble the combo because of Mayhem Devil. But they can Reflection the Mayhem Devil and maybe kill us from 26 here. It's pretty scary. Thank you again to Spike for the raid. Hope you had a good stream. Robin Isabella, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Let's see the combo. I'm trying. Maybe I should have just put the Wild Growth Walker into the graveyard a bunch, looking for another return to the ranks. That was probably the move. I thought another Wild Growth Walker would be good, but I think in hindsight that's incorrect because it's just going to die again. They're just going to be able to disrupt it very easily. What's up, Squeegee? Need more Ulu control to ice all these creatures? Honestly, Oinkster, that's why Blue Eye Control's actually gotten a lot more popular in Pioneer as of late. There are a lot more creatures, and that means that Supreme Verdict and Friends are really good right now. It's Friday, chat. Y'all got any plans tonight? You going to F&M? Are you going to F&M? Is that the Robin Isabella from Twitter? Oh my god, is that the Robin? How's it going? Yes, temporary lockdown's also good, Rebel. I agree. Taking the weekend off. Nice. Make a bunch of reflections, make a devil kill you? Maybe. They don't have quite enough to do it, I don't think. But maybe they do with the Cauldron Familiars. So they go reflection, reflection. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 reflections. Sack this. Yeah, there we go. Alright, I think we are dead. I think they were doing the math. Gonna late night challenge. Instead of late night challenge, you could early morning RCQ. There's a 10 a.m. Eastern Time RCQ. Alright, am I dead? Probably. We got blockers. Alright, so now they copy Mayhem Devil. They get some attacks in. They can do Kadev and stuff. And then We're probably dead. Classic Mayhem Devil. I cannot fathom having to play against Mayhem Devil every day. I'm so glad that only like one deck in Pioneer plays Mayhem Devil. The card was so freaking powerful in Standard. And it's really powerful in Pioneer too. Think they should ban Amalia's 2OP? Why are we talking about banning stuff? I'm losing. I'm literally losing. PT Bench with a gifted sub to Robin Isabella Twitch. Robin, are you starting to stream? Is that your whole deal? Is that why it's Robin Isabella Twitch now? Oh, yeah? Oh, nice. Well, if there's any mods in chat, make sure to do a shout out for Robin. I like Robin quite a bit. All right, so we're at 15, and it's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. So they're one short. I think they're one short, chat. I haven't done the math yet, but I think they're one short, and I think that we get to win now, which is hilarious. So they can attack with these two. We got blockers. And then at the end of turn, it's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Chat, I think we won. Maybe they should ban a Molly combo. We gained too much life. Look, they were not going to lose unless they shoved all in to get me to exactly 1 life. Will they sack everything in turn? Yeah, but everything is tapped. They can attack with 2 Mayhem Devils. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. The last one being sacked is the Mayhem Devil. I'm telling you, they lose. Because they also tapped both their Witch's Ovens to deal almost enough. Oh, they're shooting down my creatures instead. No, they're not. I thought they might. Mm-hmm. Can you use Goose Treasure food? No, but we know there's a Wild Growth Walker on top. The stack. The stack. Wild Growth Walker on the stack. Revealed card, a Skyclave Apparition. Graveyard. Blood Company on top, graveyard. Not good enough. Gilded Goose, graveyard. Put it on the stack! Put it on the stick! What was the card revealed? Wild Growth? No thanks. Top card's Innkeeper, graveyard. So they win if they kill our Soul Sisters. I can bring them back and then maybe do some stuff, but yeah. We don't go to 1, we go to 2 or 3, and then I can bring one back, figure out a way to have something die. I think is it any permanent die? Creature control leaves the battlefield? Maybe we couldn't have won. I think we just go Wild Growth Amalia, and then the Amalia 2 dies. So I think that we were fine. Graveyard. Graveyard. I didn't get any lands. Top card? Another return ranks. That's fine. Alright. Let's attack. Bang. I don't think I could have won if they played a certain way. GG. Look, people make mistakes all the time, you know? Alright, do I like Skoos? Kind of. I like the Haywire Might. I like Skoos. I kind of like Voice as well, but they have claims that can steal it and then sack it, and then they get a token, and I don't love that. So I kind of want to do like a Rydane, these 5. Bat's bad, Voice is mid, Knight's not good. Thoughtseize Fatal Push. Maybe we want some Fatal Push just to deal with the boy. All right, we're going to put a reservoir off to the side. Maybe the reservoir is actually necessary in this matchup, actually, because of their ability to make me combo without being able to attack, and them having Cat Oven to stop the attack. So let's consider keeping the reservoir. What are we going to trim? We can go down to like one Lunark Veteran. Although Lunark Veteran might actually be better than Innkeeper in the matchup because the token is such a liability. I like the 2 Skyclaves. In fact, I think because of the Skyclaves, I don't need Fatal Push. So let's look for getting these 5 in. I like the Sentinels because they just have high toughness, so we can play defense decently, so we can get some time. The return of the ranks are important. I think we can maybe trim 1 Court of Calling. They're great at chopping down our early plays. I'm going to trim 1 Lunark, 2 Innkeeper. This is kind of me just going off of vibes. And I'm going to only bring in 1 Sentinel. I'm going to cut these. So, in this matchup, because they're pressuring our creatures, drawing 2 Court of Calling could be a liability. 1 can maybe rot in our hand. The 1 toughness creatures, we can trim down on a little bit. The game's going to go long enough where the life gain might be relevant, but it's more important that all of our creatures don't just get pooped on by the devil, I think. Yeah, the right and backside's great. Alright, I will keep, but I'm not in love with it. No white mana and a couple weak cards, but we have the Haywire Might and their mulliganing. The Haywire Might, I think, is great. So I wanted to see if just having that to go, like, turn 2, eat your Oven was good enough, or maybe just eat your Fable on 3. Wild Growth also being our play early means that Amalias in the future are potentially very scary for them. Port of Callings are very scary for them. Cocos. I have had a couple of mana issues with this deck. I'm curious if there's some spots we can gain some percentage points there. Oh, we found the white source. I think I'm going to hold on to the Haywire Might for a while, and I doubt that I'm going to draw a bunch of fast lines in a row, so I'm going to play everyone team tapped here so I don't take damage. Okay, man, thanks for the follow. Appreciate all the follows today. First time chatters as well. You say Lolo, thanks for being here. I am Gregorio says, if they win, they kill your soul sisters. I already read that, I'm sorry. Alright, so Witch's Oven on 2. I'm going to go Razor Verge Thicket, Haywire Might, and then exile it immediately. I guess I can wait until their upkeep. Or I'll wait for them to activate or upkeep, depending. Appreciate the follows. Alright, so they got the cat back. They didn't value having the food and the cat in the graveyard, so that means they don't have Mayhem Devil, I don't think. Sack Deli Dispute, okay. So here, we're going to go for the Rydane backside. So we'll just go for a Goose and Wild Growth Walker. Hold on to the Beseiju for a little while, if I can. Yeah, the backside of Rydane, Valkyria, is potent against Rakdos Sacrifice because it shuts down Mayhem Devil entirely. And all of their things that deal 2 damage only deal 1, and all their things that deal 1 damage only do 0. It also makes targeting my stuff much more difficult. Alright, so they didn't play a 4th land. So I'm just going to go ahead and play Valkyria. And this should shut them down pretty hardcore. I'm not going to attack. 1-3 versus 2-2. Just pass. I wonder if they concede here. I wonder if they're complaining. They're not complaining. Like, when Fatal Push my Wild Growth Walker in response, that's fine because of the protection ability. Basically, they should concede. Well, I think it's fun as a Rakdos Sack player to try to beat cards like Valkyria. It actually makes for some really interesting games where you have to think outside the box. Obviously, I'm very comfortable with the Valkyria in play, and I will play a long game with that Valkyria if that's what they would like. All right, so let's go Wild Growth Walker. And I think I'm just going to play this tapped, and I can Besage you if I want on the Fable, but I'll just wait. I don't have to do it right this moment. But I think what I might do instead is to just make a food with the goose. But the backside of Fable is pretty scary. It does let them go Blood Tithe Harvester crazy. And Blood Tithe Harvester doing like 1 is okay, right? Alright, so they're going to attack with both. We'll block the 2-2 with the Wild Growth Walker. I think I'm going to maybe end the turn kill the Reflection, so I don't have to worry about that on my own turn. It does give them a land, but I think the Reflection is too strong here to leave around. I don't think Den of the Bugbear is that scary because the 1/1s don't do much. You can block both with the shield out. Oh, I thought this was just to you. You are permanent control. Okay, we could have blocked both. I missed. I took too much damage there. I took 2 damage. I didn't have to. Good call. Okay, let's main phase this Takanuma. So we can get Amalia back and play it immediately. That's probably best. And then next turn we can make a food and sacrifice it to combo if we wish. Alright, no attacks. Your go. Well, considering Big Monkey that we probably should have lost last game, I wouldn't say that we are bending them over. I would say that the games have been very close and interactive and fun. Is it better to make food this turn so they don't have targets for removal? Maybe Gregorio, but they can remove either half of the combo, right? So it's not really that big a deal. Alright, so we learned that we can do this because our stuff is prevented 1 damage because of the Valkyria. Should have done that last turn with the goose to prevent extra damage. I gotta be careful. They can definitely kill me. Oh, Mihawk Massacre. That stinks. They're gonna gain some life. I lose 1. And now it's top of my deck versus Den of the Bugbear. We have Lunar Veteran, I guess, to gain some life. Was not expecting the Mihawk Massacre, so probably should have played around it. But there's no Gigantha, so I guess I should expect it. Mayhem Devil, mostly shut down by Valkyria, but it is a 3/3. Alright, so let's go Lunark Veteran. And now we can Coco. Maybe Big Monkey, maybe. I would not ban Amalia. I think Amalia as a card is really cool. And the Wild Growth Walker is relatively tame outside of pairing with Amalia. If Appraiser can exist, why can Amalia? Because Amalia is a 3-card combo and Appraiser is a 1-card combo. Alright, let's go ahead and Coco and see if we hit something nutty to block. Amalia and the Nameless. Any order's fine. We'll get the map token. Then we'll block with the Sentinel. Ambush! Hook dodges shield pretty well. Yeah, the hook's great. Gets around both halves of Valkyria. So now we can start doing some exploring. So whenever we gain life, we explore. But exploring doesn't really do anything except grow our creatures here. Bro Winston, thanks for the follow. They're gonna pop a blood in response. They can target me, but it's prevented and it's countered unless they pay 1. Well, Squeegee, you could usually kill the appraiser in response, and then the clones couldn't clone it. But that's not the. None of that matters. It's more just like one card, like cards that create one card combo decks, like Gyruda or whatever, are extremely dangerous. And Gyruda, when it was fully powered, graveyard on Goose. Anyway, you can't just have cards that win the game for 4 mana. I'm sorry. It's just like not okay. I completely agreed with their decision to axe it, personally. Alright, Reservoir. That's a pretty good draw, right? Alright, so we'll put a counter on the Luminous. And then their target doesn't do anything. And my 3/3 already checks their stuff. See who the top card is. Top card's another Amalia. We'll put that in the graveyard. And then we'll play Reservoir. And now every spell we play will gain us a life as well, which will trigger Amalia. And I'm not going to attack because I don't think I'm winning this race that well. And I can put some pressure on their Hive and Den by holding back. And so it makes it so that Aetherflux, Amalia, this should be enough to eventually win the game as long as they don't have crazy top deck or 2. And I mean, we could just draw a bunch of lands in a row also, but I'm hoping to dodge out with the Explorers a little bit. Wild Growth Walker. What about that one? Is that one good? I feel like that one's pretty good. Udru Beseiju. I think I just chill. We don't have any way for our stuff to die. I guess I can attack. This only hits opponent stuff, right? Yeah. Alright, you're good. I could attack for 2. Very little reason to, I think. I'm going to go ahead and upkeep, blow up the Fable, so they don't get an extra look. I don't want them to draw a land and be able to discard it. I guess I could have waited till draw step, since the chapter doesn't trigger till main. They have 1 fewer land in their deck. Why didn't that combo? Because the backside of this is not the same as the front side of this. And the Wild Growth Walker was not in play when we gained a life. Off the Aetherflux, so we need 1 more. The backside of this is whenever something leaves, and the front side is whenever something enters. Godless Shrine. Yeah, the combo is also a little bit finicky, which is why, you know, whenever anyone says it should be banned, it's like, I don't know, man, maybe. Yeah, a couple of reasons why we weren't able to full combo there, but any creature, or sorry, any spell here should do it because of the Reservoir. Leyline of the Void, not going to be good enough. Graveyard already full. Alright, another land. We're giving them a lot of time. All we need to draw is a creature, or all we need to draw is a spell now. After we drew that Wild Growth Walker. Valkyria really holding it down, making sure the Mayhem Devil doesn't do anything. Which is Evan, not a big deal because of the Valkyria. Tandy, question right here. You didn't play the land. As a Magic player who gets in these stalemate board wipes, what's your philosophy on when to play the land versus when to tank the lands? You can probably hold most of the lands at this point. I played one because out of habit. You hold the first one so that you don't give away to your opponent that you have no cards in hand that do anything. But when you draw the second one, there's very little reason to hold on to the second land. Now, there's actually like an extra sub game to that, where the moment you play a land after not playing a land the previous turn and not casting a spell throughout the previous turn cycle, your opponent can safely deduce that you just have another land in play. All right, so we just target Goose, Wild Growth, Goose, Haywire Mite. And we convoke for 6. This should be enough. This should gain us enough so that Reservoir ends the game. Revealed card, the Goose. Graveyard. I know it's going to the exile, but we want the Amalia to gain as much life as she can. So we're going to put everything in the graveyard because she doesn't get bigger on a land. And we just want to make sure we get up to 50 so we don't have to worry about them blocking with Den of the Bugbear and stuff. Anyway, I hope that was a reasonable thought. Can you hold the no hotkey to speed through the combo? I don't know. Probably. I can right click it and say always no. But I don't want to say always yes or whatever. I will just say no to speed things up now. All right, we're at 50 something. Turn off auto yields. Keep the Coco on top. We're at 57. It's gonna blast some. Save time. GG. Web slinging through the trenches. Oh yeah, that part's good. I like that part a lot. Sweet movie, yeah. Agreed. The second one was better somehow. I don't even know how, man. The second one blew me away. I can't wait for a third one. I've seen the first one, or I've seen the first one like 3 times, and I've seen the second one like 5 times. All right, so they don't have red for Leyline Binding. Drew another Razor Verge Thicket. You hate to see it. Just Sentinel down. Just have a little more pressure. This also dodges lockdown if that's what they play next turn, which is nice. You're playing Quintorius tomorrow. Quintorius is interesting. It's basically the Geomancer deck, but it just is slightly more expensive. Alright, so they're going to hit Sentinels. Sag. I guess we have Beseiju to wreck them. I don't want a Coco yet, but maybe I should Coco. So I can Beseiju for 1, get a map, double map Amalia. Attack. Save the Coco for... They're not going to sweep anytime soon, right? So let's just do that. Let's not play the Goose, though. We'll just play, like, tapped Razor Verge, I guess. Giving them a land here is probably a mistake. But we get to just put a lot more pressure on them. I should probably waited 1 turn to do this. Top card is a Wild Growth Walker. Guess we'll keep that one on top. Sanction event. Well, they can't get them both. Alright, so now I can go Goose plus Coco. I still don't think I really need to play the Goose. Go map. Just put some more pressure on them. Top card's Quarter Calling. I think I'm gonna graveyard this because I'm playing the Coco this turn. Like, it's obviously a good draw, but it's not worth leaving on top when I might miss a creature. So they don't have the second binding? I guess not. If they're playing Extinction Event just to kill Amalia, it also means they just didn't have removal at all. They probably just had, like, some of their big creatures or whatever. I'm not sure exactly what they're playing, but they have Extinction Event, so I guess it's Bring to Light. Maybe it's Niv, maybe it's just Omnath. I doubt that they're the enchantments deck, though. Escape to the Wilds. They've already played a land. They left them white, so they have Chain to the Rocks. That's fine. They're going to chain the Nameless, and they can play a land as well. They did not play a land from exile. All right, Sentinel's down. I can't think of a reason to do this now, so I'll just wait. All right, I doubt. So if I hit Amalia, I can hit him for 20 here. We hit a Dina and a Innkeeper. No. I guess Dina Skyclave is better. We get the Sentinel back. All right, so this is 3, 4, 5, 6. We're like pretty close to killing them here. No creatures in graveyard for return, but we have Dina. X is sacrifice creature's power. So we can sack Sentinel, play Goose, Wild Growth, bring it back. Sack, Goose, Wild Growth, 1, 2, 3. Not quite. Wild Growth Walker should be lethal. It doesn't gain life. Oh, with the maps it does. I'm sorry. All right, and then we just sack the Wild Growth Walker to buff this. That was a cool sequence. Good call. I forgot the Wild Growth Walker was going to get triggered off of the map tokens. All right, so they are Niv to Light. Thoughtseize is going to be quite good. I'll bring in the Haywire Might, but it's basically just for Leyline Binding. Voice, I think, is bad. Knight of Dust Shadow doesn't sound that bad because their Omnath is a great way for them to get out of things. But I'm not sure that I want or need it. Voice, they'll be exiling more than likely most of my stuff, so I don't think Voice is that good. Yeah, there's a lot of little micro things like that that if you don't play the deck a lot, you'll just miss, as you saw me almost do. Finding Dina there was cool. Dina and the Skyclave. It's another matchup where them having a bunch of Wrath and stuff might make Horde worse, so we're going to trim one. I think we definitely want the 4 Thoughtseizes, so we can't go too hard on cutting creatures. We have to cut some of these. But I think it's just maybe cut 2 Chord, and then we have to cut 3 creatures. I'm going to cut... I don't know if Goose is that good in the matchup. Because the food tokens gaining life doesn't really matter. Whereas Lunarch Veteran is just part of the Amalia combo. This mana creature is getting swept up. And if we're cutting some cords, cutting some geese makes sense as well, right? Something like this. And the Sentinel's fine, but it's not like integral to the plan, and it's not that important. I like Return to the Ranks for just because the games are going to go pretty late, I think. Rite Aid should probably come in. I like the Bat okay too, but I just don't really know how many cards I can afford to bring in. And I know Thoughtseize is great. The Bat should probably come in though. Maybe I should go down to like 3 Wildgrowth Walker or something. I'm just like not comboing that much. This is a mulligan, but it's a pretty close to keepable. This deck isn't one that can keep one-landers too often. Has the combo been tried modern at all? It's been tried, but I don't think anyone's had success with it yet. So I want the 3rd land. I don't think I really want the Dina right now, so let's just put the Dina back. You don't gain much from modern? Maybe not. Like, the problem is the combo is very, standard Pioneer-centric or whatever with the card printings. I think that's kind of what they're going for. Yeah, I should have brought in Rite In. Rite In's something I would bring in if I was an aggro deck, but we just don't have that many slots to cut, and every slot you cut is just make sure your creature's worse, your combo's worse, and you just gotta err on the side of conserving, or of being conservative when it comes to sideboarding in this type of a deck. If you side 9 cards, your entire deck changes. Buy Gigantha. That's good for me. Alright, we're going to go for a Sentinel here. If we go for Cenote, we can't cord for 2 anyway, so might as well just Sentinel. Yeah, I mean, the big thing about I was going to say decks with fetch shocks and like the mana base changing really is what makes the difference between Pioneer and Modern. But the mana base in Pioneer is pretty good, and the mana base in Modern is pretty mid. Paired. Like, it's not a significant enough upgrade. Alright, let's go Shock with Temple Garden. I'm gonna go Thoughtseize you. I can go for the kill here, but I'm pretty sure they have something. So let's Thoughtseize and see what the something is. I can't go for the kill and Thoughtseize, which is awkward. They'll go Binding. I have Boseiju for it, but I think in response I'm just going to let them pay the 3 life. I can cord for 2 in response to this, and it'll blow up the Sylvan Carotid and leave me with a big Amalia, but the Amalia is going to go under the Binding. So I think I just let this happen. The other 2 I could go get would be Dinah. I didn't board in Scoos. I didn't board in Bat. Gigantha and 2 Omnaths. Guess we'll just take one of the 2 Omnaths. Alright, so let's explore. And then we'll go EOT, blow this up, and then untap Cord kill. Cord of Calling. Or sorry, Coco on top. Keep the Coco on top, I suppose. Alright, so EOT, Boseiju the Leyline. It'll give him some mana with the Omnath, if I'm not careful. Maybe I should do it now. Although, let me read. So if it says, whenever a land enters the battlefield, you gain 4. If this is the first time this ability, not the land itself. So now we blow this up here. And if they have another removal spell for it, that's okay. We have Collect the Company on top. We can just cast if they have a thing here for our Amalia. Spike Trident Modern. That's cool, Greg. All right, we know the top card is Collect the Company, which actually means that I don't think that we're killing this turn. I guess we go Cenote Scout, trigger on the stack, cord. That makes sense. We can do that. And then that should allow Molly to be a 20 and then blow up the blockers. And I don't think Ziator Proving Ground is going to do anything. All right, so let's hold full control. We'll go Cenote Scout. The Explore triggers on the stack. We'll cord for 2. That gets us Wild Growth Walker, and now the Wild Growth Walker's in play when Explore happens. Revealed card is Haywire Might. Okay. We want a bunch of lands here in case they do have the answer of some kind. So these two will go forever and ever, amen. I think we still got to keep putting stuff in the graveyard. But this should be a lethal attack. But maybe they have something, so we're going to play it out. Maybe it's a fatal push and they have to wait for the blow up. Innkeeper Graveyard. Takanuma, nice pickup. Alright, they packed it in. Alright, 2-0. Alright, we're on the draw. And my hand is actually pretty nutty for a 1-lander, but I think I'm just going to mulligan. I haven't had too much problems so far, like flooding or whatever, so I'd rather have more lands. Well, I guess we have to keep this 1-lander. Alright, well, let's hope that we draw out of it. 3 hands with only 1 land. Alright, Unlucky Witness. That's a much better start for us than Thoughtseize. Thoughtseize could have been real bad. We'll go for the Goose early. If they steal it and sack it or just kill it, it is what it is. The Goose is loose. Pioneer's fun, Ops. It's reminiscent of like modern 2014 in terms of raw power level and sheer number of deck options. Alright, I don't love not drawing a land, but we're going to play an Innkeeper. And we'll trade food token for a treasure token in hopes that we are able to draw land next turn to play Sentinel. If not, we can still play Wild Growth Walker, but we won't be able to cord for anything for quite some time. Rafa here honking like a goose. Me too, buddy. We mulled to 5 this game, but we're 2-0-4-0, and the deck feels good, but I mulliganed to 5, and all my hands had 1 land in them, and this one was maybe the best of the bunch, awkwardly. Opt, I'm sure you're like me, where you legitimately enjoy watching other people play the game, so you have like a good, I don't know, you get to like learn stuff while you're like playing vicariously through them or whatever. I've played, you know, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, Escape from Tarkov, Fall Guys. You know, I've played a lot of the more popular games over the last few years, but I don't really play them anymore. But I still watch people play them on Twitch. I watch a lot of Twitch. I think I probably watch more Twitch than I do normal TV now. Actually, that's definitely true. I definitely watch more regular TV than Twitch. Alright. Opponent. Playing so slow that I'm falling asleep. Tarkov's the only game you play now? You need to go see a therapist because that means you are depressed. No offense or whatever, but to me, that's just what I found out. Whenever I play Tarkov, I'm just extremely depressed. Look, it's a thing. It's fine. I'm rooting for you. You can't stand watching Tarkov? There's a couple that I can really enjoy watching. And there's a couple that are not very fun. They'll dispute on the witness. Let's see what they reveal, but I can't imagine that I'm winning this game. Well, like I still have Hulu and stuff boxing. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about frickin' Cox Cable or whatever. I'm talking about, The Office or other TV shows. I haven't had a cable hookup in my house in a long time other than for internet. Maybe over 10 years. Ob says, I've been working on Red Black Through the Breach Palantir deck. I can't wait to start testing it. That sounds fun. I'm a big Through the Breach fan personally. A witness. We're going to block the Walker with the Goose, I guess. Take 3 down to 12. We're falling behind, chat. We need to land right now. Land would be ideal. We might be able to curve out and come back. There's one. We can also double block the Blood Tithe Harvester, which I am heavily considering doing, which is why I didn't attack with the Innkeeper last turn, if I'm being honest. Did you watch this past season of Fargo? I did. I loved it. I loved it. The actress who plays Keeley on Ted Lasso was the main, and she was exceptional. She was so much fun to watch. Well, they have the Fatal Push for me. I guess I could have just took 3. But it is what it is. Got to gamble a little bit when you're behind to try to get a little lucky to win. They found 2 lands. Good news for me, but they did draw 2 cards. Do you sleep up for FNM or are we chilling? Let me go check. 1 second. Well, I asked Callie and she said she'd get back to me. And she didn't get back to me, so I don't know. I'll say you should probably just sleeve up for FNM. I might come into FNM if they're busy doing stuff. Maybe I should have made a food token this turn. This veteran here is probably not going to be good enough. If all they do is fire up Den and attack for 7, I'm in a pinch. That's what they're doing. We get to block 1 of it at least. Yeah, I stopped watching the news too. I never watched the news to begin with, but the news itself, like the news programs, are there just to stir you up. So they only make money when they stir you up. Alright, well, we never drew a 3rd land. Happens. Okay, so what did we do last time? Rydane, Haywire Might, Sentinel, Ooze. These 4. I think we cut a cord. We cut some of the 1s and the 1 toughness things. Something like this. I think I want the other Sentinel, though, over another Lunark. We'll go 2-2 on Lunark and Innkeeper. Not in love with it, but we're trimming a cord because of the same reason, so. Yeah, I really miss Faithless Looting Opt. That's my thing. Yeah, I mean, NPR is I would say, somewhat respectable news source that does, like, the whole problem with society, and this is gonna maybe be a little too broad strokes or whatever, and please don't fucking yell at me or whatever, but the problem with society is that we have monetized everything. We have stopped doing things because they're the right thing to do or the good thing to do, and instead have made everything cost $5. Everything costs $5 or more. Even reading magic articles costs $5, You know, you hit that Prime sub, that's $5. But you paid Jeff Bezos a bunch for, you know, Amazon Prime or whatever. All right, this hand is pretty good. We'll keep. Time for Revolution? Yeah, maybe. Everyone says it's time for Revolution, but no one shows up when the Revolution starts. Need to take a page out of the French. Now they know how to riot. Revolution costs $5. That's what they tell you whenever they email you for their campaigns. Give me $5, we'll change the world. My guess they're going to take Amalia, but my hand's pretty cracked, if I'm being honest. They do take Amalia, so I'm hoping I draw any creature here to get some stuff on the table. Ooze is a good draw. Pushes us towards Quarter Calling and gains us a life. Yo! Sicko72. Psycho72, thanks for that Prime game and sub. Appreciate you. Welcome to Todd Squad. Enjoy the emotes and no commercials. Appreciate you. Love your content. Hey, thank you so much. I wish I was motivated enough to do more. And I apologize for not making more. But that's okay. We're all just trying to survive, right? Push on the ooze. Land would be good. Land would have been real good. Unfortunate. Alright, Fable's better than Mayhem Devil, but they're both pretty bad. Man, I just got mana screwed twice, huh? I guess that's how this deck loses. You just get mana screwed twice. Happens. Here's your $5. Thanks, Simic. Simic be randomly sending me $5 all the time. Whoa, hey! Money, please. See some list playing Wayfinder over Goose. That's interesting. I'm gonna block, I think. Maybe double block. No. Not falling for that again. Single block, they go Mayhem Devil, sack, deal 1. I think I'll just take 2 damage. I feel like taking 2 damage is coward shit. I do like Palantir of Orthanc. That card's cool. I really wish a lot of the Lord of the Rings cards were just printed into standard. Alright, well they did have the Mayhem Devil, so now I'm kind of glad I didn't block, but my Lunar Veteran's still going to die. And a Braid. So they had it all, and now we're dead. Gonna concede. We're just gonna be done with this one. We got screwed. That's fine. It happens. Oh yeah, I love me a Ring Shieldred combo. That shit's so intoxicating. You know, I get it. I really do. Well, this is the 3rd Rakdos deck out of 4. That's okay. Let's go Veteran into Goose 2. Look, if they push the Goose, you're always in good shape. Goose is not integral to the plan. It is only a puzzle piece. It's like the edge piece of the puzzle. It's not part of the picture. It's just part of the puzzle. Alright, so they're just normal Rakdos instead of sacrifice. That's good. Alright, so we'll go Innkeeper. And I'm going to eat a food to play the other Innkeeper instead of the treasure. Because I think it's better to keep treasure over food. And now we're going to gain a bunch of life, and we have the ability to Takanuma next turn. We're not vulnerable to Thoughtseize ever again. In a pinch, we can gain 3 life by sacking the treasures, but we're not going to need to do that for a long time. And we're excited for the new lands in Karlov Mansion. What are the new lands? Aha, a Thoughtseize. Nice one. I like the Surveil lands. I mean, I liked the old Skylands a lot. And these are just significant upgrades, right? Okay, Coco here seems like the obvious play. No attacks makes the most sense because they just get a smuggler block. So they think that we're going to Takanuma, but we're going to surprise them with the Coco, I think. Maybe. We do have Skyclave Apparition. And we can just annihilate them here if we hit it. I'm doing it. Worst case scenario, we just find other creatures that don't stop the copter, but that's fine. But if we kill the copter here, they just are dead. All right, another veteran. We'll go Wild Growth Walker. No Goose. Any order. Yeah, maybe they'll reprint Fetch Lands again one day. Alright, so they're going to discard Thoughtseize. Put a counter in the copter. We're going to gain, I think, too much life for them to beat me in that vein. So they're going to need, essentially, to go like Shieldred to stabilize, and then slowly pick off all my creatures before I find combo. Alright, so they discarded a card and they looted. They found Bone Crusher Mutavault, and they can play both. That's pretty good. NT. This is why NT with Copter is in the deck. Because they were kind of flooded on Thoughtseizes, and now they just get to turn them into some stellar cards. I wonder if they had the option to stomp or not. Maybe not. Alright, let's go for Takanuma now, and then we'll go ahead and play Amalia if we find it. We didn't, so we'll just take, I guess, another Innkeeper. Alright, so we're gaining a lot of life. We're not doing much wild growthing. Alright, here you go. Tandy, I was fiddling with a Boros Pia with Inti, and Inti is just stellar. Yeah, I can see that. I think Inti is just an excellent Magic the Gathering card. For 2 mana, it's hard to ask for more or better. Maybe I should have just sent with 5 creatures last turn. They take 4 down to 13. We lose Wild Growth. Nah, probably not. Anyone got any good paper pulls as of late? I haven't opened booster packs in a minute, but I got a box of Lorcana chilling. Callie bought me a Rise of the Floodborn box when she was at a convention recently. I think Gen Con or something. Actually, I wasn't Gen Con. I forgot where she was, but I don't block. I think I just take the 4. Lorcana's dope. I enjoy playing it. I just wish they would take their organized play stuff seriously. They've just kind of let it rot on the vine for 6 months. You know, they even said, "Oh, we're going to announce some stuff," but the thing they announced was they did the announcement for an announcement. Amalia. All right, do we just cast this and blow up the world? I guess we get a lot of explorers. All right, let's see if they kill the Amalia in response. Push on the Amalia, that's fine. We do not get to explore, but we do gain a bunch of life. I guess I'll just make a food with a goose. Maybe I should have waited a turn and made a food with a goose so I could gain some life in response. Alright, we'll just bring back the Lunarch Veteran. Would have comboed in response. I mean, I would love to hear how. We didn't have 4 mana to make a food and then crack it. We only had 3 mana. Everything else is just static effects. Could be wrong. That's fine. If we had a food, yeah, but we didn't have food. So the way you said the thing just throws me off. I don't know. I could have waited a turn. All right, Lunar Veteran down. All right, I think I do some blocking now. Maybe I just eat shit for a turn. This is only 10, 11 or so. So Ludaway thought he's found Bone Crusher. Or not. Alright, let's see if they have a land. 4, 8, 9, 10, 11. I'm just going to eat it. Every time I start blocking, I lose a lot of future life. Because each of these Innkeepers and Lunarks gives me 5 per creature. So Coco, all that stuff off the top. Sentinel. Alright, this is a good draw. Now I wonder if I should who should I map onto? Probably Wild Growth Walker. Maybe Sentinel. Court of Calling. Keep the court on top. Here go. Special says inexperience uncurling foils. I usually stick to just non-foils for that reason, but I got some Halo foil Pias and they are horrendous. I got a game loss in like 2004 or 3 or something for having a foil in my deck, and I have not played foils since. I will actively trade a foil for a non-foil if I have no other option. I'm an anti-foil type of guy. This is the way? Yeah, nice. Alright, I'm gonna blow up the world next turn. So we're gonna do a lot of blocking here, I think. Guess we just do the one block. Stembra! Thanks for the prime sub. Alright, I guess we just jump with the goose. Now I can main phase Cord, which I think I'm going to do so I can bring back some Lunark veterans from the graveyard. They know I have Court of Calling on top. What are they doing? I don't understand. Maybe they didn't see. Alright, so let's go attack with just Sentinel to get the token. And then after the token, we'll go Cord. So we'll get Amalia. We'll blow up the world. Make a 20/20 or whatever. Alright, we'll make sure top card. We'll go Veteran Grave. Court of Calling, we'll graveyard it, I guess. We want more lands, and we want Etherflux Reservoir. We'll keep the Etherflux Reservoir because I think we'll be able to kill them next turn with the Reservoir. I actually really like the Reservoir in the deck. I think that's cool. They got some spicy one-ups. I really like the Reservoir. I think it does something that is extremely unique. All right, game one goes to us. Rakdos mid. Nameless comes in for sure. I don't like the bats. I don't like push. It might just be the 2 Sentinels, but maybe it's 2 Sentinels and a Scooz because they have Croxa. I don't think Writing's that good. Voice is okay, actually. So maybe it's something like these 7-ish. Or maybe it's just these 5 and then these 2 on the sidelines. Or maybe it's these 3 with these 3 coming in with these 4 maybes. Or these 2 coming in with these 5 maybes. I think the combo is good, so I want all the copies of it. We gained enough life there with Lunarchs and Innkeepers to survive, which I think is common. Cataclave Apparition as a 2-of is solid. All the Cocos. This is another, like, anyone who's very attrition heavy, Chord of Calling is worse against. So I think we can almost always trim a chord after sideboard because our opponents are always going to be bringing in tons of interaction. If you're playing against like Lotus Field or whatever, that's where Chord of Calling is at its best because it's just about a race, and Chord is very good at racing, and it's very bad against, it's not very bad, but it's worse against attrition battles because they're able to disrupt your combo. They're able to reduce the number of creatures you have on the table significantly. Something like this. Chord, one walker for the life gainers. We got a little more mid-rangey. We have the ability to win with just like Cocos and return to the ranks. I don't hate that. A couple of fatal pushes also gives us outs to big annoying creatures that we might not be able to kill. It also helps check Inti early, which Inti and Copter seem like their best cards against you. I don't know. Could all the geese? Maybe, but if they're pushing our geese, I'm pretty happy about that. All right, opener is pretty solid. We'll keep. Once on 6. Do you oftentimes shout out Etherflux Reservoir? I haven't cited it out yet, but this is my first time playing it in the main deck personally, so. Oh, there goes. Thump the goose. You got it, dude. All right, we're gonna go for Innkeeper, but I think maybe just Innkeeper. Because if we go for, I don't want to burn the treasure. It can work nicely with the Fatal Push later to make sure that we have what you calls it. We could kill the Bone Crusher Giant, but I am not that worried about something that just deals me 4 turn, especially when I might be able to block it, like right now. All right, we're gonna just eat the goose. And I'm going to offer a block with the ooze, and if they kill the ooze, then I might fatal push the Bone Crusher. But I'll try to hold on to this for a while. I don't think I can really afford to have this die. Sorry, and then not kill the Bone Crusher, so we'll block, and then I'll hold the Fatal Push for the Shield Red or whatever that's about to come down. Hopefully it's not Fable. Fable would be probably worst case for me. Croxa might be worse, but they're still a little far away from getting Croxa into play. Trespasser? Okay. All right, I'm not that big. I'm not that worried about Trespasser, and I don't really feel like discarding anything here. All right, so let's go black, white, Amalia. See if they're going to push us. Dang, they have the push too. All right, well, they had a lot of stuff here early for us. Happens. All right, so now let's go for Cenote Scout. Let's look for something to do. Top card is another Innkeeper. We're going to put that in the graveyard. I can shock and play Goose, but I'll just play tapped. That way, if I really need to kill Trespasser, like if they go Thoughtseize me, I'll just push the Trespasser, discard Goose. All right, we'll pitch the Goose. Thoughtseize doesn't do anything. It's a nice little 2-for-2 trade. We lost our Goose from the graveyard and a life, but no big deal. What do we lose to? We lost to Rakdos Sack the second time. We got stuck on one land both games. Not a whole lot that we could have done, I don't think. Wild Growth Walker. We get to swing for 3 now. And now we just want Cord, Coco, Return to the Ranks, pretty good too. Another Amalia is good. House Pioneer without Karn. Much more fun, if you ask me. Alright, we got another Amalia. Let's go ahead and play it. That way we'll gain a life and explore. Top card. Turn to the Ranks. We'll keep that on top. No tax because the Hive to block. And then we can also in a turn pop food to explore again. But I know the top card is something I want, so I'll probably wait. Okay, so this is a Desperation Hive attack. We're going to double block. They're going to eat Wild Growth, but that's fine. Let's see if they put Amalia first. If they do, we can gain life and put a counter on our Amalia. We'll keep that on top because it's just good for later. And now we can attack for 7, put them down to 6, and they should be mostly dead. We can return to the ranks. I guess we'll just do it for 2 and get back these 2 and buff. Cancel. Is that lethal? 4, 5, 6, 7. It's not lethal. We get back. Is it lethal? How many buffs is it? Innkeeper Goose. So this will be 2, 4, 8, 9, 10, 11. I think we're short, so I think we just attack for this many. Because they might just untap and wrath us. Although they would have wrathed us probably last turn if they had it. Alright, we'll just do all 3, and we'll sack the extra little Amalia. And this should be lethal. If there's a spell on top, I'm pretty sure it's lethal. We could hit some lands and then it's not lethal, I think. But this should be a lot of surveils or explorers. How's the testing go? We're going pretty good so far. We'll choose to keep the bigger Amalia. We might be 1 short, actually. So let's just hope we don't get hit with a big sweeper. I guess we can also just scry something cool to the top here and get some lands to play. Top card is Court of Calling. I think we can do better. Next one is Adina. Can do better. All right, so we can, let's see, 6, 7, 8. Let's pop a food again. Top card's Wild Growth. We'll put into the graveyard. We just don't need it. And for 9. So Extinction Event on even leaves me with a Sinnoh Scout and a Goose. Nice. We'll keep this one. We'll put back Reservoir. They are a Yorion deck. Good to know. What's on the menu? Let's see. I got some chicken thighs. I have some ground beef. And I have some ribeye steak. I got zucchini. I got some potatoes. That's about all. The Goose. That's a good draw. Lets us Coco a turn early. Allows for a potential turn 3 kill. If we go turn 2 Amalia, turn 3 Coco into Wild Growth, we can win. As long as they don't do anything. Gonna Gark some people at FNM. Is FNM Sander tonight? The Gark. Alright, let's go ahead and play the Amalia. We can play through some counter spells, but not make disappear. Chicken parm. I don't think I have tomatoes. Last night I made braised beef tacos. Cycle the shark. It's a jerk. Alright, we're just going to attack for 2. See what Sperling does. I think I'm not going to go for it. We'll just go EOT Coco. I could Coco now, but I think I'm just going to wait. Get a plane, say go. Feels like a Supreme Verdict bait, so we can just wait until after the verdict resolves. Alright, we'll go for the Coco EOT since we can untap and Coco again. Probably Wandering Emperor to exile this would be my guess, but counterspell here is fine. Alright, I'm going to main phase this Coco, looking for the kill. Could get hit with a Sensor or something similar. It just Skyclave Apparition. Not great. Had a chance to win if we hit a Wild Growth there. Maybe not a win. Maybe they have something, but now they don't have to do anything except untap and Rathus, and then we lose. I don't think waiting again is right. They didn't have the counterspell for this on 2, which led me to believe that when they played it, I don't know. Alright, let's go attack. Let's see if they activate Castle. Alright, we'll just say go. I don't really know what's going on over there. Alright, so they're going to end of turn. Exile my thing. In response, we're going to Coco. And if we hit another copy, we'll replace that one so that one goes to the graveyard. Let's see. I guess we can go Prosperous Innkeeper plus Dinah. But I think Innkeeper plus Amalia too is good. Allows us to do an Explore here too, so we get an extra look. Nadina for later. They also don't gain the 2 life here, I don't think. Gonna land. Now we can Besage you here for 1 if we need to. We can't Takenuma for 1. Four-man 2/2, not bad? Oh yeah. Not that bad. Alright. So I can besage you the demo field right now, and that would make it so that they can't demo me, but I don't think demo me is that big of a deal. Just a Razor Verge thicket. Alright, so let's start with Takanuma. 2 for 3. Goose or Sentinel. Goose gives me a Surveil, but Sentinel, we can go shock and play it. I guess I like that. Oh, I don't have a food. I was like, why can't I use my goose? But it's a treasure. Alright. We'll get an Explorer. Map token. Alright, change the equation, that's fine. Alright, so now we'll just send... Do we send everybody at Teferi? Do we send no one? Do we send this face only? Alright, here you go. Whenever my opponent gets untapped with Teferi here of Dominaria, I never feel like I'm going to come close to winning. Knight Errant's still better than Coco? Maybe. When I Coco like that, it feels like you're right. Main phase the Omen. They're going to look at the top two. Gives them something for Yorin for later, but also lets them just untap with Teferi. Oinkster! Don't root for my opponent! It is Orbital. It's a nasty deck, but it's fun as all get out to play. I think it's a bit better IRL than on online, but it's actually pretty clean online, all things considered. Alright, let's attack with both. We'll go face. After no blocks, we'll go for a cord for 2. Alright, well, after no blocks, we'll go for the kill. Maybe I should have played a Besage untapped. Dovin's Veto. Doesn't matter. Alright. I don't think Besage is going to have too many good targets, so I might blow up like a Ardenvale EOT or something. I wonder if they're going to make a token. No, they're going to go for Beseiju. Alright, let's blow up the castle here. We're not going to be able to do it after this. And I don't think blowing up the Omen makes a lot of sense. Could target Temp Lockdown? It could. I don't know that they're playing Temp Lockdown. They have a ton of 2-cost counters and Omen of the Sea. And they're 80-card Yorion. Maybe because they're 80-card Yorion, they're likely to have some lockdowns. But lockdown doesn't go that well with Omen for obvious-ish reasons. And I wasn't going to have the ability to do it there, so might as well. After sideboard, I think we actually board out a lot of our combo pieces. Alright, buy Yorion. They play it. They get to untap with 2, so they could have like change the equation, make disappear, or veto at the ready. They get to blink the Omen to draw another card. And then we just hope that the top card of our deck is kind to us, I guess. Wild Growth Walker. would be a good one because it means that they are unlikely to have a counterspell that can stop it. Be my They didn't untap anything. That must have been a mistake. Thing. Oh, maybe I should have done this on upkeep. Top card's Court of Calling. Guess we'll hold on to it. Demo field can make me search them. Is there a wide pump spell for the Amalia tech out of the sideboard, or is that even worth the sideboard slot? If you wanted to, you could play the one white card that's like all your stuff gets hexproof, and then if a black or red source to deal damage, it doesn't. Something like that. I don't remember what it's called. They played in Mono White Hammer in Modern. Main phase Deluge. Yeah, Surge of Salvation. That's one that you could play in the sideboard of this, but I don't know this necessary. Demo field's the option to search. May search. Okay, so demo field is May. Field of Rune's not a May. 6 cards in hand now. I can't imagine that we're going to win the game with this Court of Calling. All right, well, we are going to attempt a chord. Oh, why did this tap, dude? Hallowed Moonlight. That's a good one. All right, we'll just concede. That's fine. Right Ain, Deep Cavern Bat, Voice, Thoughtseize, and Sentinel. Maybe Ooze too. All these can come in. Let's figure out how many we want. Chord's pretty good because of the instant speed. Speculative Apparition's pretty bad. Most of these Innkeepers are bad. Lunar Veterans are bad. We'll just cut like a bunch of the gain life thingies. Since we're cutting so many creatures, we can trim a chord. Could bring in the Haywire Might just in case they are playing a bunch of lockdowns that I didn't see. Going for the Rubbins. I don't know if you noticed, but he played Hallowed Moonlight as fast as possible. And Hallowed Moonlight's a funny one. Back when it was in Standard, I think, there was a bug where you could Hallowed Moonlight in response to like Jay's Friend's Prodigy transforming. And I was watching Jerry T play a Magic Online Championship, and Jerry goes like to flip a Jace, and in response, Sperling casts Hallowed Moonlight, exploiting that bug. And we took a screenshot, we posted on Twitter. It was a big deal for like a 24-hour period or whatever. It was like, oh yeah, this is who Sperling really is. He's someone who talks big about being for the rules and yada yada, and then the first chance he gets to exploit a Magic Online bug in a tournament that matters, he does, you know. You're sure they have lockdowns? That's fair. Anyway, I don't like Sperling very much, so I don't like playing against him. Lars 514, but he played that Hallowed Moonlight as fast as possible, and I'm sure it was a fuck you, buddy, which is fine. Fuck him back. There are very few people in the world that I dislike more than Sperling. Yeah, it's a bug, Marshmallow. It exiles as a creature and comes back as a planeswalker, and lockdown only affects creatures. So it was exploitation of the bug. I guess I'll just take the lockdown. His first name? Matt Sperling. Bunch of counter spells in hand, so let's go ahead and get down our voice. Alright, so let's go Ooze plus Thoughtseize, I guess. Thoughtseize first. So Farewell, another lockdown. Take the lockdown. Alright, so we have 2 Beseiju, Haywire Might, and 2 Court of Calling to find it. To be able to kill a lockdown. Let's bring back in a 3rd Court of Calling. I feel like if we're infiniting, we should be in good shape. I'm going to cut the Reservoir. They have counter spells, so even if I combo off and have Reservoir on top, the way for me to win the game is to, like, resolve it on the next turn, I guess. I don't know if that's even reasonable to expect. Reservoir's good against them? Okay. Just cut a random fucking 3-drop, I guess. I don't know, man. Maybe Goose. You boarded it in? Okay. Often let you combo and then kill your board. I see. Do I keep this no black hand? I think I got a mulligan. Even with the Coco. We just can't cast anything. This hand's really good. I'm going to put back the Goose probably. Although turn 2 Sentinel is pretty solid. I'm going to put back Innkeeper. I think it's probably the worst of those. Maybe I should have put back Goose though, because just a one-shot. And I should probably maybe not even have it in the deck, if I'm being honest. I'm going to go for Goose. Next turn, I think I'm going to go Thoughtseize into Voice. Or maybe Voice into Thoughtseize. Maybe Voice into Thoughtseize. I want to... Actually, I'm going to Thoughtseize first. I want the Voice to resolve. I don't know if Sperling ever doing anything specifically shady in tournament play, and I don't want to imply anything of that nature. But he's just a very unpleasant individual to be around. Lockdown. Quick study. Okay. I gotta main phase it because of reasons. Then draw the land. I could have played Goose. I feel like playing another thing is not the best though. Maybe I should leave in the Skyclaves to kill the lockdown. Don't worry about it. Doesn't matter. Fucking, he's a boomer. Just like me. Our fucking 10-year-old drama or whatever doesn't matter to anybody. Alright, let's go Sentinel and hold on to the Beseiju, I think. Actually, yeah, let's just hold on to the Beseiju. Lockdown is just, like, too strong against me. Beseiju busted? Yeah. Holding the Beseiju hurts so badly there, though. The Shark. That's a scary one. Alright, let's go map. Still trying to pump this thing. Top card's Wildgrowth Walker. I'll put it into the graveyard. I think I'm going to play another Goose. They have Verdict. That's fine. They get rid of the Shark. We still have a Voice token. This lets me Coco next turn hit a Legend and use Beseiju all if I need to. I'm not sure. That's going to come up too much. I like. So get lost. Alright, starting that stupid thing. We get some maps so we can put some pump spells on the voice. Top card's Coco, we'll keep that. I think I might Godless Shrine to get another food token off the geese. Alright, so if they double block, we'll kill the shark. Could have left the wild growth on top and went upkeep Coco. Yeah. There are some times where it's okay to upkeep Coco. And that's one of them. The double block surprises you. His hand's probably 4 counter spells, be my guess. Like change the equations and shit. Main phase deluge. I guess they need land drops while they're doing that now. If they hit a land, they'll be able to probably counterspell my thing. Tap land. Now we can, I guess we can main phase Coco. That probably plays right into Farewell though, so maybe we don't. Alright, so I guess I'll just force them to have 2 counter spells, one on their end step and then one on my turn. I don't want to run into a Farewell here. Cycle Sensor. Yeah, I still don't want to run into a Sweeper. Maybe I should have just played Reservoir while it was free to cast. But then it just runs into Farewell again. This is a 2-3. I assume this is getting countered. I'm pretty okay with it getting countered. Okay, so now we can just get some dogshit creatures out of my deck. The Goose. This is Goose and Scout can both go. Let's go for Reservoir and see if they counter it. We can go Beseiju main phase the Coco if they do. I don't know. I guess if they activate the Anchorage, I'm going to Beseiju in response. Alright. Well, Hallowed Moonlight, something that this deck has a lot of trouble with. I feel like we're just dead. It was a fun game, though. Fun match. Yeah. Classic. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if Reservoir is worth it there. Maybe I shouldn't have even played it. All the 2 cost counter spells counter my Coco here, so I'm going to wait for them to do something. All right, we're going to let him decide where those cards go, and then I'm going to Coco while he's tapped out. Hopefully they don't have another sweeper. Or if they do, maybe I'm able to put Return to the Ranks on top. Punish them for not exiling the graveyard. Yeah, we talked about that a little bit, but that's what Elliot played at the regional championship recently. Right Ain plus Sentinel. Pretty good hits, I guess, all things considered, but like too late for the Right Ain to do much, I think. So a single verdict or something here is going to kill us. That's good. Tough match. Well, having to do it on the end step there and then not getting any scries or whatever, that's what really kills us. All right, GG. 3-2, not the best result, but the deck felt pretty solid. Cards like Hallowed Moonlight, obviously very difficult to beat, and the blue-white decks kind of teching for Amalia with those cards makes things a little more difficult. Obviously, conceding there, probably a little premature because we have Return to the Ranks, but considering how that game's gone, I'm assuming that there's a Dovin's Veto in hand. We just didn't really have much of a shot after stumbling early. Game 1, we missed on that Coco. That was tough. If we'd hit, we might have been able to win. Game 2, systematic dismantling with Thoughtseize, Voice Resurgence doing his thing. Game 3, tight game, but he had the answers at the right time, and that's how it goes. This deck is one of the better decks in Pioneer, I think, right now. And I think with more play, you could really gain a mastery of it. And once you do that, your sequencing gets a lot better. The ins and outs during sideboarding becomes a lot more easy to identify. I think I was struggling a lot with what to cut and what to bring in, and didn't really feel like I had enough stuff to bring in against Azorius that really mattered. Maybe we solved that by just playing 4 Voice Resurgence in the 75, but that would likely require trimming on Skyclave, maybe 1 in the main for a voice main. Other than that, I'm not really sure. I was not super stoked about Reservoir beginning the event, and then after 5 matches I think I get it, but I still don't know if it's necessary. I never felt like I was digging for it specifically when I was doing my Amalia combo, and I think that because of that, it's likely that it needs to take a slot of Return to the Ranks instead of just being another one of those big non-creature type payoffs. Right now I think our Cocos are actually pretty light with only 26 creatures, and I think adding another creature and cutting a Aetherflex Reservoir to the sideboard makes some amount of sense. But I don't know. I felt like it was good in some spots, but just not really a cohesive part of the strategy, and more like a Hail Mary if things go wrong, or if everything's going right, it just ends the game on the spot. And I think I'd rather just have some more creatures that kind of functionally do similar things, but are a little bit better draws in the early game. I was a big fan of Sentinel of the Nameless City. I thought that one was good. Knight Errant of Eos is something you can play over Collect the Company. And in fact, Elliot Raff, who's in chat or was earlier, has done that at the regional championship. But Collect the Company is such a powerful card that I find it unlikely that a straight swap of Knight Errant for Coco is correct. But I am not the biggest fan of Return to the Ranks. Even against the like decks where it's supposed to be good, I don't know, man. It has, without Satyr Wayfinder in the deck, I've been really struggling with it. And maybe that's the thing. Maybe it's just play Satyr Wayfinders, but that makes Coco worse too. Blah blah blah. So a lot of ways you can take the deck. Mana base feels like the part that's struggling the hardest in terms of getting the right colors, in terms of hitting your second and third land drops. There are a couple ways to smooth that out, but suffice it to say, if you cut down to 1 Cenote Scout, your mana is going to be a bit worse. But I'm not the biggest fan of Gilded Goose. I might just go maxed out on Cenote Scout instead. Goose was pretty lackluster for me for the entire league, and it's been lackluster for me in general. And after sideboard, you cut Court of Calling a decent amount, and because of that, Goose gets worse. It's possible we should just never be cutting Court, instead always trimming on Return to the Ranks and some of the creatures, but I don't know. But anyway, I'm Tandy. This was Abzan Amalia combo. We went 3-2. The deck's pretty great. Obviously, I need to work on the deck some more and learn it some more before I can put up significantly better results. But that's the deck. Thanks for watching. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button on your way out. We are live streaming most weekdays around 2 p.m. early afternoon, and we write articles for our Patreon. Check that out, patreon.com/Tandy. Make sure to check out our sponsors, Brainstorm Brewery Podcast. They are a slice of life magic podcast featuring 4 awesome individuals: Corbin, Castellan, DJ, and Jason Alt. We have Moxfield. Thanks to Moxfield for sponsoring the channel. Check out our decklist page. There's links in the chat. And then lastly, thanks to Apex Gaming. Apex Gaming is a store out of Caldwell, Ohio, running tons of Magic and other games events. The Apex Apex Invitational Series Season 4 starts either late March or early April. We're solidifying the details, so make sure to check it out. We'll be running events out of their home store. Ross Merriam and I will be doing commentary. Thanks for watching. I'm Tandy. We'll see you next time.